$1 rice kills all dead soil. Permanently no compost and no fertilizer. Big Ag buried this. If your soil keeps failing, no matter how much compost or fertilizer you add, you're probably making one mistake that quietly destroys everything underneath the surface. Most gardeners are sterilizing their soil without realizing it, and then trying to fix it by adding more inputs on top. That's why yields drop, plants stall, and nutrients seem to disappear no matter how much you feed. What's actually happening is simple. You've lost the biology, and once the biology's gone, your soil stops functioning. It becomes a storage bin instead of a living system. Before we get into the fix, here's a quick practical tip. If you're not consistently saving your kitchen scraps, you're limiting your ability to rebuild soil long term. I keep a compact sealed bin right where I work, so nothing gets wasted or starts smelling. I'll leave the exact one I use in the description if you want to check it out. It solves a small but real problem. Most people don't stay consistent because composting becomes inconvenient. Fix that, and your soil improves faster over time. When we talk about soil health, there's a hidden crisis that often goes unnoticed. It's not just about nutrients or texture, it's about the tiny, unseen microbes that keep everything running smoothly. Without them, soil just can't function the way it should. Over time, repeated mistakes can lead to what's called a microbial collapse, where these essential organisms simply vanish. Honestly, it's a bit like pulling the plug on the whole system. Plants struggle, nutrient cycles stall, and the garden just, loses its vitality. Now here's where most advice completely falls apart. The problem isn't that your soil is dead, it's that it's been stripped of microbial life. You can have soil that looks dark, even rich, but if microbial populations are low, plants can't access nutrients properly. This happens from overuse of synthetic fertilizers, letting soil dry out too often, or constantly disturbing it. And here's the part that frustrates experienced growers. Adding compost alone doesn't always fix it, especially if your soil biology has collapsed. So that's where this rice method comes in. And honestly, it works faster than people expect. This $1 rice method isn't about feeding plants. It's really about rebuilding life. I've used this in neglected backyard plots, raised beds that just stopped producing, and even container systems that were, completely exhausted. The goal here is to reintroduce and multiply beneficial microbes quickly, using something cheap and accessible. Now, let's walk through the process step by step, so you can see just how simple it really is. The beauty of this method is that you don't need any fancy equipment or expensive ingredients, just a bit of patience and a little attention to detail. It's all about creating the right environment for those beneficial microbes to thrive, and in just a few days, you'll start to notice the difference. Trust me, it's straightforward, and anyone can do it. Here's the exact process. First, take a small handful of plain white rice. No salt, no oil, no seasoning at all. Give it a light rinse and then soak it in about half a litre of non-chlorinated water. Oh, and if you're using tap water, it's best to let it sit out overnight first. After soaking for about 30 minutes, pour off the cloudy water into a separate container. That cloudy liquid is loaded with starches, perfect food for microbes. Now, cover that container loosely and leave it in a warm, shaded area for about 24 to 48 hours. This is where the transformation starts. The liquid will begin to ferment slightly. You might notice a mild sour smell. That's exactly what you want. That means microbial activity is building. And here's what most people don't realize. You're not just growing microbes, you're selecting the right ones. This simple fermentation encourages beneficial bacteria that help break down organic matter and unlock nutrients in soil. It's a primitive but effective version of microbial culturing. No lab, no expensive inputs, just controlled conditions. Once your fermentation is complete, it's time to put it to use. Simply dilute the fermented liquid with water, about 1 part ferment to 10 parts. Water is a good rule of thumb. Then apply it directly to your soil or compost. Over the next few days, you might notice your soil becoming richer and more crumbly, and your plants looking a bit more vibrant. This process, though simple, really does kickstart a healthy living soil ecosystem, and all it takes is a bit of patience and a willingness to try something new in your garden. When it's ready, just go ahead and dilute that liquid with about 1 to 2 liters of water. Now it's safe to apply. How you apply it honestly matters more than the recipe itself. If you pour this onto dry soil, you're wasting most of its potential. Always, and I really mean always, pre-moisten your soil first. Then apply the rice solution evenly, soaking the top layer where microbial activity is strongest. In raised beds, I use about 1 liter per square meter. In containers, just enough to fully saturate without runoff. And in hydroponic transitions, I use a heavily diluted version to coat root zones before introducing nutrients. And this is where things get interesting. Within days, your soil starts behaving differently. You'll notice water soaking in more evenly instead of pooling or running off. The soil smell shifts. This is honestly one of the clearest signs. It goes from flat or stale to rich and earthy. If you check below the surface, you'll see better structure forming. Soil starts clumping slightly instead of staying dusty or compacted. And plants, well, they respond fast. New growth appears stronger. Leaves regain color. Roots expand more aggressively. This isn't theory. I've repeated this across multiple setups with consistent results. But here's the mistake that ruins everything. Most people stop here, and that's why results don't last. Reviving soil is one thing, keeping it alive is another. If you go back to overfeeding with synthetic fertilizers, you disrupt the microbial balance again. If you let the soil dry out completely, populations crash. If you keep digging and turning constantly, you destroy the environment microbes need to stabilize. This is why I always say, soil health isn't something you fix once. It's something you maintain. So when we look at the bigger picture, it's really all about building a long-term strategy for your soil. By focusing on sustainable methods and nurturing your soil's natural biology, you're setting yourself up for ongoing success season after season. It's not just a quick fix, but a commitment to healthier, more resilient plants and, ultimately, a more productive garden. Stick with it, and you'll see the benefits grow over time. And the rice method makes that maintenance easy. You can repeat this without damaging your soil. Unlike chemical inputs, this method doesn't overload your system. You can apply it every couple of weeks in degraded soil. Once things stabilize, once a month is enough to keep microbial activity strong. In containers, I've pushed this even further with excellent results because those systems lose biology faster. And here's something most gardeners completely overlook. Temperature quietly controls how well this works. Microbes thrive in warmth. If you apply this in cold soil, results will be slower. In warm conditions, especially in the early morning or late afternoon, activity spikes quickly. This is one of those small adjustments that makes a big difference in how fast your soil recovers. Now let's address the claim. Does rice really kill dead soil permanently? No method permanently fixes soil. That's not how living systems work. But what this does is restart the biological engine in a way that's simple, repeatable, and effective. It gives you control. Instead of relying on expensive inputs or waiting months for compost to break down, you can actively rebuild soil life on demand. And once you understand that, your entire approach to gardening changes. You stop reacting to problems and start managing the system. This works across different growing setups. In backyard gardens, I've used this to bring back beds that hadn't produced well in years. In raised beds, it restores structure and improves water retention. In containers, it prevents the common issue of soil becoming lifeless after a few cycles. Even in hydroponics, where soil isn't involved, introducing beneficial microbes around roots improves resilience and nutrient uptake. The principle stays the same. Healthy biology equals better growth. And here's the part most people never connect. When your soil is alive, you actually need less fertilizer, not more, because nutrients stop being locked away. They cycle properly. Plants access what they need without constant intervention. This is why experienced growers eventually shift away from heavy feeding and focus more on biology. It's not a trend, it's a correction. If you're still relying on inputs to fix soil, you're working against the system. And that's exhausting. You spend more, you do more, and results stay inconsistent. But once you get the biology right, everything becomes more stable. Growth becomes predictable. Yields improve without constant adjustments. That's what this method helps you achieve. If you're into practical, results-driven gardening like this, subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to cover, especially when it comes to building systems that actually sustain themselves. And if you've tried something similar or experimented with microbial methods, share your experience. Real-world results matter more than theory. At the end of the day, soil isn't just dirt, it's a living system. Understand that, work with it, and you'll stop fighting your garden and start getting the results you've been chasing.